everybody. Cricket is carrying on, okay? I know you all thought the test match is over. There's no more cricket. What are we going to do? It's okay. We're ready. We are ready to entertain you once again. Thank you to Dafa News, our lovely sponsors who are helping make this happen, and my lovely super fans here representing their IPL teams. This, people, is our pre-IPL post-intermission warm-up for the second half of the previous season that already was. Oh, I don't know where we are. But all I know is that IPL started back up again, and we are getting ready for it with our RCB and Mumbai Indian fans today. Every day this week, we'll be speaking to different pairs of fans just to see where we're at, just to kind of recalibrate our minds, get ourselves all into the right thinking. We've been thinking test cricket, and unity in our national side for so long. It's now time to bring it back to the noise, the fun, the tamasha of the IPL. It's exciting. It's going to be back in the UAE, as you guys know. First, let's just start with how you're all feeling. Naresh, we got IPL back. How are you?
Oh, yeah. No, looking forward to it, Tommy. Especially, it's great that we have a slot available to complete this season and right before the World Cup. So I think that is also very exciting. So, yeah, looking forward to it. And Mumbai Indians, yeah, they have to make a comeback. They have done well so far.
You said you have to make a comeback. He's already called it a comeback. Let's see how the Mumbai Indians are doing. Let's see how they're all doing. Let's look at the league table as it stood. Just to refresh again. There we go. Delhi Capitals sitting at the top tonight, and there they are. There's RCB in third, Mumbai in fourth. So this is who we're talking to today. Third versus fourth. Both played 7. Both you saw the points there. It's fairly even keel. Vandata, you're smiling, you're grinning. Is that a grin of confidence as we enter this second half? Is this the second half of the IPL? Yeah, the second half of the IPL.
Yes, it's the second half, and we are above Mumbai. So we should be happy right now. I don't know about the trophy, but right now we are above Mumbai. So come on, let it be. Whoever wins the trophy let's talk about the present.
This is the only time when you will get to be top of Mumbai. So just enjoy and embrace this moment.
It's not going to last.
It's okay. We're going to win this year. Let's see who is going to win.
Okay, it's great. I love the fact that we, these guys just last week they're on the same side playing for Team India, and now I wonder whether it's the same. I wonder whether Rohit and Virat before they went their separate ways. Rishabh, what would they have said to each other before they shook hands and went to their respective camps? What would Virat and Rohit have said?
अब तो हो गया इंडिया, अब आओ आईपीएल में देखेंगे आमने सामने.
Do you think it'd be respectful like that, or do you think they'd have a little dig at each other?
I don't think they would have had a dig at each other. It's all fun banter in the end. I mean, at the end of the day, they've got to come back for World T20 for India, so it would just be fun banter.
Yeah, but it depends at the end of what day, because that's at the end of the day in several days' time. It's all T20 and love and international, but at the end of this week, it's IPL. And it's titles and it's reputation and it's all that we know. And we know now, a united Indian nation is going to be split. Everyone's now gone into their camps. We're looking at, unfinished business. This is really what it is. Scores to settle, quite literally scores to settle and business to handle. Let's start with Mumbai. Right, okay. Let's go. Didi, you're in fourth in the table. 4 wins, 3 losses. That's not good enough for a Mumbai Indian squad, is it?
I would say it's very good enough for us because since everyone knows that we always start with saying we have been the slow starters. We don't win at the start and we make a comeback. And that is actually exactly what happened in the first half. First, we kept losing. We lost the first initial match. And then the way we made the comeback versus in the CSK game, if you remember, the Pollard game where he smashed 87 of like 30, 35 balls. So that was a very bad phase that we had just made a comeback in the IPL, and that was a day when the IPL was called off for the season. So of course, very happy and excited going into the tournament because we have started and we had just started to make a comeback. But again, it's a fresh start, so I just really hope that we don't have that again. We again start slow and then making a late comeback. So, but again, pretty excited, and I hope that. The jinx and all this stays at bay, and I think we have started slow, and since it's a new start, and Rohit Sharma is in form, a lot of MI players are in form because they have just played cricket in the UK. A lot of players are part of the UK of the Test side as well. So let's keeping our fingers crossed.
Okay, let's start with that point that you just made. Naresh, where do you feel about that? Because yes, we all know Mumbai Indians are known for not doing so well at the start of a season, and as it builds up, they find their rhythm and kind of stride, I suppose, into the game. But here you don't have that time because we're picking up on the second half. It's got to be a different Mumbai Indians. It's got to hit the ground running. But maybe does the Test cricket for particularly Rohit, does that help a lot in hitting the ground running?
Yeah, Tommy, as Didi said, the first 5 games in Chennai, only 2 wins because of a very slow track. Next 2 in Delhi, both wins. It was like a momentum coming in, especially the last one against CSK. And we are playing the first game against CSK on 19th. Yep. So, yeah, you need to start at your top best. Rohit Sharma, I don't know. Now he has to start hitting everything outside the off stump. So that's the only concern, which he was leaving in England for 3.5 months. But yeah, 6 in Mumbai Indians, there are 6 players who are now part of the World T20 squad. So the focus is how quickly they can adapt and start scoring a lot of runs and obviously taking wickets. Bumrah and Chahar, and then the 4 batters, you have Ishan, Hardik, Rohit, and Surya Kumar. So that's going to be the key for Mumbai. And if Surya and Hardik get into the form they are known for, definitely Mumbai progresses quickly. Most important is, Mumbai wants to get the next win immediate, start well, as you were saying, we don't want to start off a slow start. But the best thing is the last year's venue is the same. This is the venue of last year where Mumbai had maximum wins, went on to top, and then went on to lift the trophy. I think that would give them a lot of confidence going into this second leg. Right. You can rename this program as the first playoff if you want, if Bangalore feels good about it. But yeah, it's...
I love your cheeky grin. Didi, what were you going to add to that? As Naresh,
just that Naresh mentioned that Mumbai Indians had the toughest time in the first half because we played 5 games at Chennai and it did not pay off for us whatsoever because we lost. Almost all games there. But I think the benefit for Mumbai Indians would be that they know the conditions in UAE very well because we have already won a title there. We were one of the. I'm not sure, but we had just lost very minimal games in the 2019 tournament in the whole season as well. And Mumbai Indians would be knowing the whole tournament, the Dubai pitch. They are just playing, going to play a lot of games in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and just 2 games at Sharjah. So I think that track will suit the batters much more than that suited in the Indian tracks as compared to the Chennai track. If you see, MI players were struggling in the Chennai pitch, but as they came out and they played at Delhi, we all know what happened. Quinton de Kock came back in form. Rohit Sharma came back in form. We all saw what Pollard did. So MI knows the conditions pretty well. Better than any other team. Of course, every team has played the equal amount of games, but MI playing in that setup and winning a tournament would give a lot of confidence. And hopefully that would be an added advantage for us to make a hat-trick this year.
Okay. I want to hear from both you Mumbai Indian fans about form, really, and about the track as well. Because as you say, here they are, Rohit in particular, coming from England, having played Test cricket. We all criticise Rohit as well, saying, oh, he's going for those shots. He's trying to be the hitman. He shouldn't be trying to be the hitman. This is Test cricket. Now we're going to ask him to switch the other way and go straight back to IPL style playing in a very humid condition in UAE. It's going to be hot. It's going to have a real test on his physical toll. But he's had a great Test series. I just want to know where your confidence is at. First, let's start with you, Didi. Where your confidence at with all those factors?
Well, of course, Rohit Sharma is in a purple patch of his career right now. If you compare it with the red ball cricket, because he has gone up the rankings, he's gone ahead of Virat Kohli in the Test rankings as well, and he's hitting the ball. He was hitting the ball quite well. Even if you see the slogging shots which he was playing in Test series, they were very clean and proper shots, and here he was timing the ball really well. So, of course, he's in great form, and I think it's quite easy for a player to transform from Test cricket to T20 rather than from T20 to Test cricket. And that would be an easy, would be a very supporting thing for Rohit Sharma because he knows how to play T20. Because when you are shifting from Test cricket to T20, you just have to hit all the balls. As Naresh said, he would not be afraid to hit those outside of balls and would go for it all after. And just not Rohit Sharma. As Naresh also mentioned that we have 6 players in the squad who have been who are a part of the 15-member squad of the World Cup. And also the other thing is that MI does not have any injury concern in the upcoming leg of IPL. And there's not a single player who has pulled out, not a single player who has any COVID issues. So we have the same squad, no replacements or nothing like that. That could have a very well advantage on the team. And again, one thing I would like to mention, and I would also have Naresh's opinion on it. If you remember, in the previous first half, we had dropped Ishan Kishan because he was not performing and was not playing to his full potential. But now, since he is in the World Cup squad, do you see him getting more games often? And he would, I mean, what is Naresh's take on it? Because if he has to play the World Cup in the 15, he has to perform and he has to play in the IPL to get enough practice and get his bat going. So I think that would be very interesting to see how MI manages Ishan Kishan considering the World Cup coming ahead.
What do you reckon, Naresh?
Yeah, I think he'll start off right away. One, because as Didi said, he's in the squad. One. Second is Dubai. If you remember last year, he was taken as a replacement when one of the number 4 was injured. I don't recollect the name, and he scored a 99. Yeah, Saurav Tiwari. It was 99.
Then he was replaced by Ishan Kishan.
Replaced 99. By Ishan. He scored a 99 against RCB, which ended in a tie and then a super over, which RCB won. So Ishan Kishan would start off, I feel, now at number 4 because it's very critical for Surya Kumar, Ishan, and Hardik to get runs and help that cover up to Rohit till he gets little quickly adjusted to. And as Tommy, you said, the concern is going to be the humid conditions more than the white ball. So that is what Rohit Sharma needs to quickly adapt to. And Quinton de Kock is coming with loads of runs. He has played a lot of T20 in West Indies and now recently Sri Lanka. So Quinton de Kock is in form. Pollard is playing his semi-final today at CPL. So these guys are really built up well to get into the IPL and then obviously followed by the World T20.
Naresh, what does Pollard bring to the proceedings? Just talking about that, what's he got? That's good.
Absolutely. We saw what happened the way he ended against CSK. You know, that finisher role. He is such a perfect finisher role to this format of the game. You know, probably the best in the world. So that is what he's getting in. He's even bowling well. That game, he won the man of the match for 87 as well as 2 wickets. And what's going to be important, his experience is coming up, as a captain in CPL. He's leading his national team, West Indies, and he's a deputy to Rohit. So much of experience coming in, which is going to help a lot of youngsters also in the camp.
Okay, great. I tell you what I'm enjoying. I'm gonna, you know me, I can't hide anything. I'm getting messages from Ronat that says, "Is this the Mumbai Indians show?"
I would just have added on Pollard, but since I saw Varada's message, I was like, I'll just be kind on her. I mean, let's not steal her thunder today.
No, don't worry. Listen, we're going to come to RCB in a moment, but because there's lots of these conversations connect. So just want to quickly get your opinion, Didi, on Pollard, and also because we mentioned about bowling, Chaha as well, and he's in great form as well. So what does Pollard bring? What does Chaha bring? Then we'll move on to RCB. They're the other side, and we won't keep Ronat waiting. Didi.
I think there's not much left to say on Karan Pollard because he has been in the MI setting since the last almost a decade. You can say that from 2010 when he was bought for like 7 odd crores in 2010, and he has been around. And the way MI has shown confidence in him, because if you see, Pollard was not always up to the mark in terms of, he had a few good years, he had a few off years, but even when you talk about Ajinkya Rahane in Test cricket, he has placed one of those knocks in certain time, and then he's playing on and off. It's the same case with Pollard, but since he has been given the captaincy of the West Indies team, he was made the deputy of Rohit Sharma. I think that has helped him a lot to be a better batsman, and it has shown, right? He has led MI a lot of times in the IPL, and it is proven that when Pollard is being the captain, he performs better as a batsman when he's captaining the side. So it shows a great skill of leadership as well. And I mean, we don't want to mention it again and again and to feel bad about the RCB fans, but we all know what Pollard can do when he is on his day. I mean, come on, tell me, in that match versus MI versus CSK. No, it's not about RCB, it's about CSK. Don't worry. In that match, as an MI fan, I did not believe that this thing could happen, that Pollard could stay along and chase a stellar total of 219 or something like 220 or a total like that. But the way he handle and finish off this innings, He was hitting the bad balls. He was taking singles as well, because you don't see Pollard taking singles and doubles very often. But he analyzed the game so well that he was more focused on taking a few singles and keeping the strike as well. So again, and a lot of talk about Pollard there, and also Rahul Chahar. I mean, this one proves that how he has evolved as a cricketer, because he has been put in the World Cup spot ahead of Yuzvendra Chahal when they are both like spinners. And Rahul Chahar was very beneficial for Mumbai Indians in 2019 when they played in the UAE. Of course, the conditions are not very spin friendly, but again, a leg spinner coming into the frame of schemes adds a lot of variety to the bowling attack as well. And again, a lot of credit has to be given to Mumbai Indians for grooming Rahul Chahar in the bowler which he has become today, because there are players like Mayank Markandeya as well. He was also a leg spinner, but again, the way the kind of performances which Rahul Chahar had shown in for the Mumbai Indians, I think that has given us a lot of credibility to be a part of the World Cup squad, which is playing the next one and getting selected again ahead of Yuzvendra Chahal, which is again an RCB player. I mean, that's a huge statement to make by the selectors as well. So again, both these players have been a very great asset to the Mumbai Indians, and a lot of credit has to be given to the management as well, because the way they have managed the players throughout all these years.
Good squad. It's a solid squad, and great messages from everyone. Hi to everyone who's messaging in. However you're watching this, wherever you're watching this, thank you to Dafa News and Bharat Army bringing you the show. It says, good to see everybody back, says Yathat. Hi guys, says Akshat. Players from MI are in scintillating form, says Akshat, especially Mumbai's Ranji players, Rohit and Suryakumar Yadav. And Pollard is MI's engine as well, says a lot of people. Right, let's move on to RCB. Okay, we just want to hear from the fans. Hear where your feelings are. Just remind us, RCB, are they above Mumbai Indians, Pranata, right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pranata? Yeah, I just wanted you to say it.
She's so shocked that she's not being able to grasp that feeling. Oh, are we above Mumbai Indians? So she's taking a pause and saying, oh, we are above Mumbai Indians.
Yes, we are.
I was not supposed to speak.
You are. This is your turn to speak. Let's talk. Actually, because I'm talking to you, let's start with the fact that your captain, our captain, the nation's captain, and now your team's captain is back at RCB. He was showing us just before. I feel like I've got to rewind back. It's like I'm remembering a series that's just come, like a TV show. Like, oh yeah, remember series 1? Remember how it ended? Remember at the end of that series when Virat was doing really well as an opener, as an opening batsman? We were seeing him come into his form. Are we hoping that the Test match would have boosted his confidence there? Is he going to be all geared up and ready for this?
I think in the Test match, he didn't perform that well. What we expect much more from him, but he did not lead to that expectations. But yes, as an opener, he plays freely. He doesn't have that, tensions of, saving the match and all those things. So again, he's going to be opening with Devdutt Padikkal. Then we'll have Rajat Patidar at number 3. But we have seen what Kohli has done as an opener. So again, we are hoping that he is going to open, and he is going to open.
Okay, we'll have a little look at the stats then from RCB. This is just a little look at who was scoring runs, who's doing what. There you go. Glenn Maxwell, Harshal Patel. Excellent figures. Most wickets, most runs. Rishabh, those are good numbers right there. It's got to put some confidence in you right now. Rishabh?
Yeah, definitely. I think for a long time, we've been too reliant on Virat and AB de Villiers, and there was a lot of expectations with Glenn Maxwell this season. And we were also worried because Glenn Maxwell hasn't had good seasons in IPL before, but he's done well. He showed good form, and hopefully Maxwell can continue the way he started the season. So there's less pressure on Virat and de Villiers going forward, especially now that we are halfway through and we're getting closer to the business end. So it's good. It's important that he keeps up the way he started the season.
Maxwell was a bit, what was it? A big price for him at the start of the season, like 14 odd crore, just over 14 crore. What does he bring to the squad? And would you say now, having seen what we've seen of Maxwell, was he worth that big price tag?
Is it to me?
Rishabh?
I think.
Oh, actually, I was going to carry on with Rishabh, but now that you've said to me, Vranatha, no, I'm too scared of Vranatha to now say no, Vranatha. It's not you I'm talking to. I'm talking to Rishabh. But now, Vranatha, tell me, what does Maxwell bring to the proceedings, and was he worth the big price tag?
I think he has given us everything what we required in the middle order, so we really don't mind how much money was paid to him. He has stood up to the expectations, which nobody was expecting, not even us, not even the RCB fans. Yeah. Leave the PBKS fans, not even RCB fans were expecting. So he was kind of out of syllabus. But I'm so happy that what he has done for us, we are not too dependent on Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers anymore, that, only those two guys are going to win us matches. And how can we forget now we have Vanendu Hasranga, who is going to be there in the lower middle order to give that depth. So it's all kind of sorted right now. It's just go there and play now.
Just get on with it. Let's go. Rishabh, about Maxwell, what do you see in his game? Because you're right. I think alleviating that pressure, there is so much pressure on Virat and his name carries so much pressure. And actually, he's gone straight from test match pressure to now captaining his team. That's a lot for a human being, for a sports person. So having Maxwell is going to make him feel like, whew, what does Maxwell bring to the team? What do you see in his play, Rishabh?
Yes, definitely Maxwell brings a lot to the table, not just from his batting, but he's an international player. He carries a lot of experience over the year around the world. He's played for Australia, and he can even help with the captaincy bit, with Virat, de Villiers and him forming the core. Last year there was Finch and this year there's Maxwell. I think he's a really good all-round addition, and I would like to see Maxwell batting at number 3, especially, because they often say that your best players should play the most number of deliveries, and now that we don't have that many games left, I would like to see Maxwell batting at 3, so that really takes it balance between Virat and de Villiers in between, and it also gives us power. And we saw in the season, the first 7 games, that he batted with a lot more responsibility. It's not like just he came and he started going bang bang, but he's also that he can bat with responsibility, so he brings a lot of stability to the order, is what I feel. And he's a good all-round utility cricketer. He can bowl also if required. He can be that 6-7 bowling option. He's good in the field, so a good all-round cricketer, I feel.
Good to take it to the max with Maxwell. What about Harshal Patel, leading wicket taker, playing in phenomenal form. Exciting to see him back. Excited to see what he's got to offer, Vranatha.
So after the auctions were done, still there were questions with the death bowling in RCB that we haven't sorted. But then again, Harshal Patel stood up and then he did well. If we can just forget the CSK versus Harshal Patel match, then that would be fine. Apart from that, yes, he did well. And I will tell Virat Kohli, if he's listening to this, don't give last over to Harshal Patel. That's all. Apart from that, I think Harshal Patel was decent, and I'm not sure if he will be that much, useful in UAE pitches. I'm not sure about that, but again, miracles happen, and I'm believing in still the positivity. And let's see what happens. What Harshal Patel will give us in the second half.
Okay, let's look at room for improvement, because there is a lot of hype. I'm sorry, Mumbai Indians. There's a lot of hype around RCB that this could well be their season. Rishabh, if it is, where are the areas that need work? Where are the areas that need to just be pulled up for us to look back and say, sorry, I'm so easily distracted today. You don't realize there's banter going on the comments and the messages between everybody, okay? And it's so different from last week when it was all one big India family. Now it's like siblings. When my 9-year-old goes past my 4-year-old and just pokes him and walks off. I'm like, I see it. And I'm like, what was that for? Why are you poking him for? Why are you doing that? And it's like, it's just how siblings are. So I'll let you lot carry on annoying each other. What are the areas, Rishabh, that need to be pulled up for your squad, for RCB?
I think this is the best start that we've had in a long time, since 2016. We won 5 games from 7, so that's really pleasing, and it gives us more hope and confidence. So I think this is the best shot that we've had in many years now. And obviously, if we have to go all the way, the opening Virat and to work good for us. I mean, it's always said that RCB is batting heavy, but we've seen if we collapse, then we have really bad games. So the batting has to be consistent, and it's the same with our bowling as well. I mean, we've done fairly well, but I don't think. I still think there are places where we've really got to improve with our bowling. And one point I'd like to make is about our replacements. So we've got Adam Zampa, Richardson, and all of those guys going out. And there's been a lot of talk that it's going to affect our balance and what will be the combination and all of that. But if you look closely, I don't think all of these guys were a part of our main 11. If you see, we had Maxwell, we had De Villiers, and Jamieson, and the rest were just fillers. Part of the main 11, and the guys we've got in now, they've been playing a lot of T20 and ODI cricket recently. Hasaranga, Chamira, they're playing for Sri Lanka. Tim David's playing in the CPL, George Garten 100. So it's going to be really exciting to see how these guys turn up, how these new foreign guys turn up to add the balance to the side, because that's also going to matter a lot. And I think we've just got to keep the momentum going, and we've got to play well as a unit, and we can go through if we just look at these few areas.
Yeah. And what about other players that have come out of the test match and are now ungrateful? Siraj, I mean, surely he's going to be he's going to be boosted. He's going to go into that IPL match knowing that all eyes on a global level were on him and performing. You know, it's going to do well for the confidence, Varnata.
So 2 years ago, Siraj was completely different. I mean, we were knowing him as the most leaking runs in the death overs, and we used to lose our matches there. But then if you see him in the last few matches, in the last 6 months, it's just different Siraj, which we see. And that's what we say it as. He has done magic. And that's why we see him in the test cricket so soon. I mean, we weren't hoping that Siraj is going to play test cricket so soon. And he was, and if you see last year in December, he was leading the bowling attack. I mean, and that shows with staying with Virat, he has learned that leadership qualities, which we saw in the Australia tour. And currently also he was doing well. He got 5 wickets in the recent test match. And we believe in him, and I'm sure he's going to do well in this second leg also. Yeah.
Okay, confidence, go ahead. Didi, finish off this sentence if you don't mind for me. The problem with RCB is don't hold back. You can criticize it however you like. I can't hear you. I don't know if your mic's on mute or if there you go. The problem for you, and don't worry, Varnata and Rishabh, you'll get to have the same thing about Mumbai, because everyone's going to say, "Hey, yeah, we're on form," and feel the positivity. But finish up. The problem, as you look at RCB, where's the weakness in their armor?
As much as I would love to say that RCB has this weakness, that weakness, but to be very honest and very frank, there's a lot of weakness which they have covered already as a team. Because even Rishabh and Varada were mentioning that they had a lot of dependence on Virat Kohli, and that has changed for that matter. Even players like Devdutt Padikkal, Glenn Maxwell, they have been performing. The only weakness which I would like to point out is the RCB bowling. Despite Harshal Patel being the leading wicket taker, I don't think he is a kind of a bowler who can restrict any opposition on his day, because we saw what happened versus Ravindra Jadeja in the CSK game. So I think RCB has a great potential in the batting lineup, but I think if this one weakness which they have to cover up is the bowling front, because yes, there are names, even there are names like Yuzvendra Chahal, Mohammad Siraj, but again, all these except Chahal, I don't think they have any like good bowlers who are like far more experienced and they have the ability to perform in pressure situations. So I mean, that one weakness which I can point out is the bowling, but I think on the day, because even a bowler like Harshal Patel can sit at the top of the table with 17 wickets, so I think RCB is just doing some kind of magic that everything is just working in their favor. So okay. I mean, and also I would like to mention that being an MI fan, I would really be disappointed from a neutral fan perspective if MI does not win, that if RCB does not win this year's IPL. Because they have really played well, better than most of the teams in the first half, and if they can continue that form, I think they can be a major threat for the other teams. I mean, any team for that matter.
Okay, Wow. Okay. What was supposed to be a little bit of criticism for RCB went full circle. And look, Ranatha's grinning now. Ranatha, you are free to criticize the Mumbai squad. We're just really looking from a unique point of view, a unique fan point, because your own team, you're in love with. You're going to always see that they're great. I want you to see it from an outsider's point of view. It's like you're talking about you're telling your friend that her boyfriend's no good for her. You're sort of saying, look, I know you think he's perfect, but let me just point out a couple of things. And if you can live with this, then okay, it can work. But maybe these are the areas you to work on. So as a friend, Ranatha, tell Mumbai Indians what's wrong with their team play and their game.
I think nothing is wrong. They have been winning matches for years now. I mean, there is nothing as such. I mean, if there was something wrong, they wouldn't have won. But one thing which I would like to say right now is not to win this year's IPL. You have won enough of titles. Let us win this year.
The only thing wrong with Mumbai Indians is that we win a lot of times. So, I mean,
And
that's what Vandana is trying to say.
Stop doing puja in stadium with that agarbatti.
It's prayer time already. Naresh, what do you see in your opponents here in the RCB team? Let me know from you.
I would say 4 challenges, which RCB have, because this is a continuation of the season which got interrupted halfway. So there's not much time. One is they have the maximum replacements coming in for various reasons. That's unfortunate. So how do they get that combination of getting the players into the playing 11? Second is Maxwell, after the IPL, did not feature in the Australian side for the tour of West Indies and Bangladesh. So he's kind of taken a break. Can he get back to that form right from day one? That's one challenge. Second challenge, rather. The third one is, though they are number 3 on the table, they are the only one in the top 4 with a negative net run rate. They can't afford to lose big margins, with big margins. So that is one area they need to focus on. And the last one is they need Yuzvendra Chahal to get wickets. He's not in the World Cup squad. That morale has to be lifted up. So these are the 4 things they need to focus on.
Okay. Well, see, that's how you do it, Didi. Not like, oh, you're great, you're all great, we love you, you love you. What is it, Ranatha?
So about the playing 11, I don't think we see so many changes. Even if there are replacements, I see only Vanindu Hasranga replacing Sundar. Yeah, replacing Hasranga, replacing Sundar. And apart from that, the playing 11 remains the same. Again, if there is no spin, then Christian might come in playing 11, but we don't see any big changes and any major thing which is going to hit the team playing 11. I don't see that. And second thing, even Maxwell, I think, did not play much before the phase 1. I mean, the part 1 of the IPL, but still he did well, right? So we don't know what is he going to do right now. And they are practicing right now. We see their match videos and all of that. So as an RCB fan, we would love to see him. But again, that is something which we will have to look forward to.
Okay, final point from you then, Risha, before we wrap this up. Just your thoughts on Mumbai Indians as a squad as well, just an independent point of view. Just want to know your thoughts there.
To be fair, as Drupad mentioned, Mumbai Indians are pretty sorted, doing well pretty much in all departments. Their players are doing well. I don't think there's a lot of concern for Mumbai. Only thing for them would be to pick up from here. They're in the 4th spot. They've slow started, and with just 7 games to go, they wouldn't want a slow start again, because then there wouldn't be time left to catch up. So I think that's the only thing. Building momentum would be key for them. But otherwise, they've got really good mix of youth. I can't say youth also, because a lot of the guys are in the Indian team and they've been playing for a long time. So they've got a really good mixed balance of experienced guys. There's Pollard, Dafa, Rohit, and all of them. It's a really it's a good group. It's a dream group. I mean, any team would want to have such a group. So I don't think there's any problem with them. Just the consistency and they need to pick up from here would be one thing. That's it. Otherwise, I think Mumbai is pretty sorted.
Okay. Wow, lots of love for each other. I think you're still playing test match fan chat. You haven't adjusted to your IPL game. You're still very much one team. Naresh, sorry.
No, Tommy, I just want to add on Mumbai, we need Hardik Pandya to get runs. He needs to score. We haven't seen the Hardik we know that well. It's going to be very important for the build-up for the World Cup that Hardik gets the runs, he gets those finishes, gets wins for Mumbai Indians in these last 7 games. Very, very critical.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right,
and
so-
also about Hardik Pandya, he needs to bowl also more often because we have seen that when he is bowling a lot, his batting performance is also improving. And for India to also do well in the World Cup, we would want him to bowl there as well. So he should start bowling more often. I think at least 3 overs or 4 overs a game is finishing order, so that he gets in that room of nick of bowling, so that he's very capable of bowling in the World Cup as well. And also one more point which I would like to make for all teams. I mean, you should just forget what has happened in the first half. Even for teams like Hyderabad who are below the down, starting down the order, teams like Punjab or teams like Delhi and MI or RCB who's sitting in the top four, because every team should now just look at this as a seven match tournament. Just you have to perform in the 7 matches, forget about what happened before, and just start fresh, so that you don't have that baggage. Okay, we played so well in the first half, so we have to continue our form, and all, because all that can play on your mind as well. So just start again fresh, forget what happened. 7 matches to go, give your best shot, and then, I mean, if you play well, obviously you'll qualify.
Right. Just that's okay. So you're right. In terms of mindset, you're saying clear the past, don't focus on that, on the first half. It's game time now. Nitish is just saying on our comments, RCB has a tendency to lose matches in bunches. They win in the bunches as well, and they lose as well, 4 or 5 matches in a row. Hardik Pandya is only good to play Dandiya. And on that note, we will wrap this.
That's the nice one.
We'll make that the final comment of the show, because it rhymes, and we do love a little rhyme here. Listen, guys, we're doing this every day. We're speaking to different fans every day, and I believe tomorrow we will be catching up with fans from, look at this, it's all fresh, it's all just come through right now. Fans from tomorrow, KKR and Sunrisers Hyderabad will be chatting tomorrow. So join us at the same time. Thank you, super fans. Enjoy the start of the IPL, and I will speak to you throughout it. Until tomorrow, 1 o'clock UK time, 5:30 India time. I'll see you then. Thank you to Dafa News. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks. Bye.